Hi, Team Flyer. How are you? We're here on this beautiful Friday, May 8th, celebrating another super special episode with a super special mama right here. So it's May 8th, meaning we've had Lorraine on May 2nd. We had Ixiana, who's part of the giveaway, by the way, on May 4th. We had Lacey, her first part of her story on May 6th, and today, May 8th, with Miss Joiness Salazar. And before we introduce her right away to talk about all the love and the life of being a mom, of course, keep in mind we have our super special guest of the month, Rosanna Burgos. She is here with us twice this month. She's here with us on Mother's Day, so in 2 days, and May 31st. So we're very thrilled about that. And of course, we have Mari Tere on May 17th. So keep in tune and remember the giveaway that we'll talk about a little bit at the end of this episode, of course. So without further ado, hello, Joe. Hi.
Hi, Addie. So good to be here,
I'm so happy to have
especially under this
you.
beautiful subject that has so many layers. So thank you so much for this invitation.
Definitely. I mean, you're one of the first people I thought of without a doubt. You have shared your story with us, your go to fly story in Spanish, and it has to do a little bit with, you becoming a
Yeah.
mom and having your second child as well and all these sorts of things. And I just wanted to include you to make sure that, our audience here in English can know more about you and what you
Thank
do.
you.
And you're such I love everything. You're always full of light and energetic, and it's great.
Thank you so much, Addie. I'm excited to be here as always. Love having a conversation with you. I love everything you do, and it's just an honor for me to be here.
I thank you, my love. So we're gonna get dive deep down as always. So how do you define being a woman?
It's for us, like, I have a feeling that men kind of like they out to define themselves like a certain way. And I actually think that you should open more to that feminine energy. And a lot of them are doing it and finding that it's just so much deeper than just one or two layers. For us women, we just so multifaceted. I mean, you can be defined as a woman for what you do or what your purpose is and your job, or you can be defined as a woman as being a mom, being a wife, being single, helping other women. So for me, being a woman is just that beautiful allowance of different energies and sources and purposes and passions, and that sometimes is so hard to maneuver and it's so hard to balance. And we obviously put another layer that we are very hard on ourselves, that day everything kind of needs to be perfect and aligned and beautiful to be able to kind of like feel that we're worth in a way. But for me, woman is just that allowing um this energy, just allowing yourself to explore all these facets or all these levels of purpose and passion and who you are. And I think that's what makes us us. They always say like women are so good at multitasking, and I think it's not that we're good at multitasking, is that we are so multi-layered and multifaceted and multi-energetically and multi-passion, creative. The feminine energy is such a creative energy, that is just that we have the superpower that we can create and do a lot of things um at the same time.
Oh, I love that. I love that we have that superpower. You're right.
Yeah.
Because we are that. Actually, it's one of the words I use for my bio. I was writing it the other day for an upcoming project, by the way. But I did write multi-passionate because that's just if you met me, I like a million
You're
things.
definitely, I love it. And that
Just
energy of your feminine energy, it comes from creativity and from being multi-passionate. And I think that's what we are so good and have always been so good for the ages. I mean, a mom, a woman, even forever, was not just a mom. They will just create stuff, and yeah, hobbies. And yeah, at that time it was kind of hobbies, but now they're like becoming businesses. And I think that is really our strength. It's just kind of like really embracing that.
I love that. That's one of the main reasons when I started doing these episodes with, special Mother's Day episodes and whatnot, is because of that, because we should be celebrated, mom or not, just as women, as womanhood that we are, of course, celebrated because we're all those things you just explained.
Yeah.
And it's just one day, it's the whole thing. And through here,
And
our community always, we tried the whole month, hence why we have Roseanne at the end of the month as well.
I love
So
it.
it's
I
kind of
love
like
it.
from start to finish. But to have that vibe, because my next question was, that's how you define a woman, but how do you find a mom?
So that's, it's one of those layers and energy levels to be a mom. It's funny because it's kind of like it amplifies everything about a woman. When you become a mom, everything becomes so crystal clear, like what's really important to you. But for me, I mean, I had my first kid, and like an hour later everything was just clear. Like it just, the perspective in life was clear, the perspective on my mom, was so much clearer.
Wow.
And it just becomes this, being a mom, it just gives that this super lens or super focused lens on all these other facets of being a woman. Obviously at first we just think that is the only one, and we kind of focus on that, and then as they grow, you start to realize, okay, in order for me to be a better mom, I do need to allow all these other energies that I have inside of me, because this is just one. And I think breaking that a little bit, it makes us a little guilty, because we're like, okay, but it should just be this, and then, but I also want to be a professional, I also want to be an entrepreneur, and I also want to be an artist, and I also want to be a friend, and I also want to be sexy, so all these other things that live within us, because that's again our nature of being a woman. So I think that's kind of like the moment that everything breaks. But being a mom, it just gives this perspective in life. And for me, it really ignited me. And first, when I had my first one, ignited me into like perspective of life itself. And then when I had my second one, as you know, and I said it just completely was a rocket in my butt, just to kind of like, okay, your mortality is just you kind of like feel your mortality. So you're like, what am I going to do with my life? How am I going to show these girls what's possible? Because that becomes a big, huge motivation. Like showing your kids what's possible in life becomes a very powerful motivation to just kind of like follow those dreams and all the stuff that is you've been fighting for.
Wow. Definitely. I mean, it reminds me a lot of the previous episode that we recorded. And once
Yes.
again, we will record in English, of course, so you can share your go to fly episode. I mean, story, better said. And I love how thorough and how, I want to repeat the same word, passionate you are. Like anytime you talk about anything, especially when it's something you love, of course, but I feel like just anytime you talk, like we talk to you, it's always like that array of positive energy and just be like, this is the truth. This is what it is. Here we go.
No,
And
and
know.
and I mean, I love that you say that, but becoming a mom kind of like allowed me a little to kind of like be more comfortable in my own skin. So that's kind of like another layer on that. Before, being Latina, growing up in the corporate ladder, as we said, and all this stuff, I kind of assume a role that needed to be assumed, because that was the good Latina, the good girl, not too loud, not too out there, just kind of like, vanilla enough to be able to succeed in the corporate world.
Exactly.
And then having my kids really kind of like started to make me uncomfortable with that persona that wasn't really me, and it was hurting me in a way, right? And being a mom really amplified, be like, who am I really? Like
Mm.
those big questions, like what am I here, who am I really? I don't think I'm that person, because behind closed doors with my family and everything, I was somebody. And then at work, even though it wasn't completely different, but I was assuming this corporate persona that it was supposed to be the persona that it was allowed. So my kids really helped me become more comfortable in my own skin. And I think that's one of the definitions, I think, of motherhood. I think a lot of mothers can agree that when you have your kids, you kind of like, you don't have time for the BS. You kind of like, you can't entertain characters anymore. Like, this is it. Like, you're so tired, everything you need to do, whatever. That is like, no. I mean, what? No, I just need to be okay with who I am.
That's so
because you tell that to your kids all the time.
exactly. So you got to
You're
practice
like,
what you
be,
preach.
love who you are. And then you feel like, but I'm not being who I am. So it's just very meta because you're like, okay, I kind of need to be on with my words. Not that it's going to be like perfect and all of a sudden I'm a
Yeah,
saint,
of course.
but just certain things that just make you uncomfortable and make you kind of like, okay, I want my kid to really be comfortable in her own skin. So it gives you perspective.
That is a very beautiful message, definitely to give out. So, from your childhood to theirs, how have you added more joy and confidence in their lives?
To mine from my childhood, that's a good question. I mean, my childhood was beautiful. I mean, my dad and my mom did get divorced, and obviously, even though it was a friendly divorce, it's still impactful. I go back in time and I'm like, it really impacted me. For a long time, I pretended that it didn't. I was again the good kind of like I was kind of like this energetic, which is who I am. But then I was carrying all these things, and I didn't want to kind of like realize that it was a hard time in my life. But saying that, I was exposed to a lot, and I lived in Colombia, so our childhood over there is very much exposed to the nature, to being outside, to just kind of like finding your way, pretty much not alone, but it's just very independent but still protected in a way. And you go to the farm and they're like, you go at 6 in the morning, you come back at 7 p.m., nobody cares about you, they know you're protected. So I kind of like wanted to bring a lot of that to my children, right? Even though here is completely different. Here in the US, it's just, it's not like we have a farm. It's different. It's just
It's
different. The whole
different.
the whole experience is different. But I do try to tell my children, I try for them to be as independent as possible. One of the things that I do a lot, I just have conversations with them, even when they're little. I'm like, this is the first. I use a lot of big words. But sometimes the little one, she looks at me and I don't know. I think she's understanding, but maybe not. But I really just want to treat them that they know and understand, like talk to their inner self. When I have big conversations and create confidence for them, I just talk to them from perspective that they're going to understand me. And then I have learned so much in the past years about mindset and growing and stuff that it was in me, but I didn't understand. And transformation, how big the transformation can be. So I implement a lot of that with them, which is funny. I do the affirmations with them every morning and every afternoon, and they
Oh,
repeat it back to me. And I'm like, okay. And I actually see changes on them. And I see Paz walking around saying, I'm strong, I'm powerful,
oh,
I'm beautiful. And so it's kind of like cute to see. So that was kind of like actually new things, because obviously I didn't have that when I was little. I had some
exactly.
some great stuff, but I think, being an entrepreneur, and I know you can relate, you really need to get your mindset right. Like, you really need to believe in the impossible. You really need to,
Preach.
like, you really need to be able to, get your s together, because if not, you're gonna not be able to make it, because there's so much obstacles, so much,
There's always more to
struggles.
go.
In a way, I call them
Exactly.
struggles. The do versus the allow, like all this stuff, that if you don't really invest on getting, your self-love and your knowing and all of that I know we love to talk about, then I think it's going to be such a hard endeavor. And I think that has given me a lot of tools to be able just to transfer them to my kids, even though they're little. But everything I learn, I tell them. We do stuff, we do vision boards, we do write affirmations, we journal, like stuff that I've been learning through this year. So
And that's something beautiful. That's another reason why I wanted to bring these episodes to this kind of light, because if not, we wouldn't have known that about you or the fellow moms who are participating in this, And I feel like that's so fundamental, because the way that we do see you, you do see you as that entrepreneur, that go-getter, energetic. I mean,
yeah.
you step into your world and you're like, okay, we're gonna do it. We have so much passion, and I love the fact that you're like, oh, I do the same things with my kids, And here we are, making
Yeah, I mean,
all these sorts of things.
even though when I like there's some days I wake up and I'm like, I just don't want to do nothing. Like, there's obviously moments and seasons and stuff, and it's completely okay. And that's part of the learning as well, the resting, the allowing. But I do try to implement like the positive things, but I also it's allowing, right? At the end of the day, the feminine energy, and I want my business to just be allowing and just flowing and being in seasons that it needs to be, and all of that, because I definitely don't want my children either to just be like super just super high achievers, and that's it, and then they think that's the only way that it's possible, or the only way that it's okay. So I, for me, the biggest learning that I want them to take is that it's follow your dreams and everything, but also listen to yourself, listening to whatever's inside of you. And it's not about doing and being perfect and having straight A's and, being perfect in everything. That it's not the only way, or that's not the most healthiest way, in a way.
Exactly. And that's just a lot about you and your story. But that's definitely a story for another day.
Yes.
Because let's stick to being moms, of course. The next
Yes.
question is, what is the hardest thing or the hardest part about being a mom, or one of the hardest?
Oh my God. I know we talked about it this on the Spanish one, but for me, I always wanted to be a mom. That was kind of like top of my list, even below entrepreneurship or whatever. That was even below, because I didn't want to become an entrepreneur until so much later. But me, my mom was like, for me, was like, that was my purpose. Like, that was my thing since ever. And I remember with dates with my husband, like the second day, I was like, okay, we need to get something straight. I want to be a mom. And so let's just settle this right now, because I don't, and he would just laugh at me. He would remember that conversation a lot. But saying all that, being a mom was freaking hard. I don't know. It was hard for me. It was strange. The pregnancy was nothing like, the Pinterest moms or Instagram that is beautiful with a beautiful belly. I gained like 1,000,000 pounds. I was tired. I was moody. So pregnancy was hard. And I was like, what is this? Like, this is something that I wanted to do for forever. And this is so hard. So I questioned a lot of things. And I think I even got a very big postpartum depression. So it was hard. The first year. I call it the first 3 months of having a baby. I call them the alien months, because it's kind of like you're not yourself. You don't know what's going on. The kid, like you need to feed it. It's strange that they looked at you. Like, it's just you're tired. So it was just like such a growing experience, because it was uncomfortable from beginning to end. But then also gives you so much perspective. I always tell my friends, all my mom friends, that I was like, the nature is such an intelligent being, like God, the universe, whatever, Mother Nature, that it just instills you with this perfect and beautiful and pure and humongous love for this creature that you just met. Because if not, I am pretty sure that, I will be like, can I please return it? Because I was like, it was so hard. I was like, this is so hard, but I love it so much. So thank God that was and then becomes perspective. That's your purpose. That's what it is. Let's just keep on it. You can't, throw it in the garbage. So it's kind of like, you just love it so much and you just go through it. And it's the most uncomfortable transformation and growing period that I had. I mean, I'm pretty sure all moms can say the same. So it was, hard, just keeping up with everything, and also not doing absolutely nothing else, but being with the kids. Especially the first year for me was really, really difficult. Later on, I was able to kind of like start doing other things and including other, perspectives and energies and what I said, allowances. But it is still the biggest responsibility, the biggest task, the most daunting one, no matter what age. Luna's going to be 11. She's starting the preteens, and now oh my God, she's totally a new person. And now she's smart ass and oh my God. And I'm like, oh God, I thought that's it. Like, now this is a new era dealing with all of this. So it doesn't never end. It's just the biggest job of your life. It really is.
And that's
But
something
it's
else that
beautiful.
I wanted to bring it to light as well, because it's not all like what Pinterest or Instagram, which if you had that pregnancy, good for you. Congratulations.
Awesome. Oh my God. Oh my God. Awesome for you.
But in general, it's kind of like, let's be real and talk about it. And it's okay.
Yeah, it's okay. It's bloating. You're heavy, tired, moody. I hated my husband pretty much the entire pregnancy. Like, I couldn't stand him. He was such a saint. I couldn't stand him. I will fight him every way. And it was just I was like, what in the world is happening? So it's just kind of like getting it out. It was awesome. It was just like, this sucks. You know what, world? This
Exactly.
sucks so bad, but okay, let's just keep
But it's
on doing
completely
it.
worth it. Of
Yes, it's
course.
completely worth it. I love
So,
my children for crying out loud, and they have teach me so much, but it wasn't an easy thing
of
at all.
course. So talking about how worth it is, what is one of your favorite memories with your girls?
Oh my God. I love that question. And for me, there's not like a big memory. For me, I'm all about raising vibrations. For me, I kind of like teach that a lot, and I like to kind of like cherish the small moments, even though it sounds cliche. But for me, those small moments that raise my vibration, and that is in that moment, like right, like when I'm with my kid and I'm tickling her, I'm happy with her. So that for me is the most valuable thing that can happen in that afternoon, because one, I'm with her, we're creating this little memory, but we're raising our vibrations, we're laughing, we're in this positive energy. So for me, the biggest memories is just remembering those moments when I'm cuddling with my she loves to cuddle. The little one hates it, but the big one loves it. So it's like when I need like a moment when I'm really down, I just go to her and we just hug, and she will hug me back, and it will be the most beautiful moment. So just realizing the little special moments that you have with your kids. There's always like that connection, that special connection that you have with each of your kids. And for me, that's every day I try to just bring it to light. So
Oh,
yeah.
that made me all teary. That's so special.
Oh,
I'm not even a mom yet, but hey, here
so
I
sweet.
am.
You're gonna be a great mom. I can just see it, man.
Thank you. How would they describe you?
Oh my God, I love that. Luna is actually, we have done this exercise, and every time she describes me, I want to like, I feel responsibility, like in a good way. But she uses big words. I mean, it's gonna be a little even embarrassing, but I'm gonna say it anyways. But she's like, my mom. She says she's a visionary. She helps others reach their dreams. Yeah, it's she just following her own dreams, and she's making it happen. And now every time she says it, I'm like, I feel so self-aware, but also so proud, and also like, oh my God, that's how my kid sees me. So that means that, you know what, that big purpose that I have of following my dream somehow, whatever, is resonating with her, man. I made it. Like that is
Yeah.
just a tick. I made it. Mama, I made it, because that for me is powerful. My little one continues to say, Mama, it's so funny. Like I that's because she's like, how's mama? Mama's really funny. I'm like, okay, I'll take that. I'll take that. It's just because me and her connect in the funny level. Like we just laugh all day and stuff. So
Oh,
she describes me like that. So
so adorable. My
I
goodness.
know they're so cute.
What is your vision for them and their future?
Oh, it's like it's funny because I am so self-aware of just doing and falling in love with who you are and following the path that is just the right path for you. And that's what I preach, and that's what I want everybody else to be. So I'm really like, I'm really intentional when I talk to them, and when I tell her, especially Luna, because Luna is obviously 11, the little one is still too little. But I always tell her, listen, whatever it is that you choose, like I even tell her straight up already, you don't want to go to college, you don't have to go to, like, I am not going to even put a little bit of pressure on what is the correct path for you. You are going to know what your path is. I'm here to guide you, to help you, to help you navigate it in any way, but it is yours to travel. And sometimes it scares her, because sometimes she will like for me to tell her what to do, which is really funny, because sometimes she feels like I just really want to know what to do. And I try to be like, that is really up to you. And she gets like, ay mama. But that's it. I mean, as simple as that. I really want them to follow their own path and define their own success. We talk about that a lot. Just define what success means for you, looks for you, and just follow that, whatever that is.
So powerful. What is one of the things that you would say to your younger self, darling?
Oh my God. Just be yourself, even though it's just the most cliche ever. And I think every older people wants to tell their younger self that. I mean, obviously everything that I've done up to this point has put me into this point, all the learnings and everything and the path and every path that I've chosen and every failure, right? Failure in quotations because really not such thing. But um I spent a lot of time in my life just catering to, whatever what I was supposed to be doing. I was always trying to be that perfect straight A girl. Um and that hurt me there for some years, and then it was a big struggle that I need to go through. So if I can tell my younger self something and kind of like maybe she'll listen, because probably she won't, but if she'll listen, it's just okay to be you, man. It's just okay. It's okay to be you. And you know what? The more that you're you, the more successful you'll be. And
Exactly.
that's just powerful.
It is very powerful, and it's definitely needs to for our younger generations to hear that, because I'm just learning it right now of like, oh, I'm actually
No.
myself for the first time ever. I mean, not just this
Yes. And
year,
it
but the
just
past
feels
few years, and you're like, oh, this is what it
it's so
feels like.
refreshing. Oh my God.
Exactly.
Yeah. And the more you are, the more successful you are, because one, you know exactly what it is. You follow that path. You're not catering to others. You're really just creating your own success and not just check marking what we think
What
needs to happen. And I think that's
exactly?
the biggest difference between our, when we started and when we were little, is that, they give us a path, check marks. And that was great, because it was such an easy thing to do, because it was just follow the path, follow the check marks. And obviously when it didn't happen, you will feel frustrated, but just toss that check mark out.
What has been one of the most surprising things you discovered about being a mom?
That it was hard. No, I'm just kidding. No, that your mortality is just completely becomes in full view perspective. Um, and I'm just really grateful for that, because I don't think if, going to the last point, I don't think if it would have happened if I would not become a mom. Like, I don't think I will realize who I want to be or who I am, or, if I wouldn't have been a mom. My motherhood really made me really crystal clear, and what I want to do in life, what I want to follow, even though it could change tomorrow. But at least kind of like my mortality became really real. Like, okay, this is it. I'm not only for myself but for my kids. And what are you gonna do with your life, sister?
That's that's definitely an eye opener for many, for sure. Because it's like you said, like as soon as your oldest was born, an hour later, like, okay, I know my path
Oh,
now, and it's super
and
clear.
I mean, I think a lot of moms can relate. It happens that quickly. It's just scary, and also scary immediately, because you're like, oh, 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 shit. Now I
Oh,
have to care for that little thing that is there breathing. Just that is just like, oh my God.
like what I do.
Yeah, what I do, I need to be my best self, all of that. And it could be a lot of pressure on a mom also. And I think especially first time moms, it becomes this burden as well, because I think that's where the depression comes in, because you feel that you need to be perfect for this little kid now that is there, and then you are not able to be perfect for the little kid because you're tired, because you're everything, because all of this. And I think that's when you just get depressed, because it's so hard. But at the end, it's what it is. So you just grow and learn how to deal with it.
Preach or truth.
Preaching.
So, how would you describe your kids in one sentence?
Oh my God. It's funny. Luna, this is what Luna wants to do when she grows older, and she'd research it. And she's that girl, I don't know where she comes from. She's like, I want to be a woman renaissance of the film. It's just like, or a film women renaissance, whatever. And I'm like, what? Like, mommy, yeah, renaissance is that you kind of like are multi-passionate, and you can create like all the art around this big thing. So because I just don't want to be a film director, I just don't want to be an actress, I just don't want to be a music, I just want to like deal with everything of the films. And that in itself is like, that girl is just very creative. Like, she is just a creative soul to its core. I mean, she's completely messy and clumsy and like, which is adorable, but she's just extremely creative. And my little one, Paz, she's just a firecracker. I mean, she is the most purposeful person I know. Like, she would just see something, do it, and do it right. And if you don't do it right, oh my God, she's definitely a bossy little baby. But she's purposeful. Like, she does things for a lot of purpose, and I love that.
That's adorable. So imagine that it's 10 years down the road and they come across this episode. What would you say to them?
Oh my God. I will tell them that it was one of the proudest moments of my life and of my motherhood, because it is just a moment to just share with the world what it means to have them. So I'll tell them that I was really grateful to be in it, and I will be like, whatever I said, that was at that moment. And I've just, love them. I think Luna will love to hear this episode, and I think I'm going to show it to her, like, obviously as soon as it's up. But she loves to go back and see like old stuff that I've done or created
Oh,
for
that's
her.
so sweet.
Yeah, that's one of her favorite things, to see old pictures and all, and old things and movies. And I think
God,
she
I
loved it.
cannot wait to see her spark. I feel like she's gonna. You need like we don't. You don't. Oh God, I can't even speak. I'm so emotional because of her. What I'm trying to say is that you don't really show her a lot in general through your feed and whatnot, obviously. So,
Exactly.
but I can't wait until because she's just 11, more or less.
Yes, I think it's going to be a beautiful moment. Thank you so much, because I think
to
it's
see
going to
her
also give her perspective.
her grow and spark and just, oh my goodness, I'm already your number one fan, Luna, whenever you listen to this.
Luna.
And Bas too, Bas también. It's just that kind of go-getter mentality. I mean, of course, there's an age difference between them, so obviously with Luna it's easier in this kind of way to know a bit more.
Yes.
Oh, wonderful. What is something your children have taught you?
I think, going back to it, I think it's just our children just teach us perspective. It just, whatever is modeled all of a sudden becomes crystal clear. So I'm just very grateful for them, because they kind of like came with this Clorox to clean everything up and just make me see it really clear. So I'm just grateful for that opportunity, and also for being able to love in that way. I mean, just like experience that, the purest love that there is to experience. I think that's something that I'm just eternally grateful that I'd be able to experience that. It's a lot of responsibility. It's scary at times, all of that, but it's just, at the end of the day, is the most gorgeous love there is.
Beautiful segue to the question. I get sentimental in every single episode in general,
and
especially these.
I mean, I can imagine, especially these ones, I bet.
Like these ones, I was like, that's so beautiful. We recorded with Lorraine. That's the first episode, and she also has a teenage daughter. Her youngest is 15, and she came in and she listened a little bit in the background, and she got teary-eyed as well. So part of the episode, we're like, okay.
Oh my God, that is awesome. That is awesome.
So these episodes are truly special to my heart. And even though I'm not a mom just yet, but still, it's so nice to hear those stories and just, embrace and rejoice and whatnot. So talking about embracing and rejoicing, how are you celebrated?
How am I celebrated? Oh my God. That is obviously, at this time that the episode is recorded, we're definitely, inside of our homes, which I've been extremely grateful. For me, I'm privileged enough that it's been a great experience. So I cannot even complain 1 cent. How am I going to be celebrated? How am I celebrated? For me, it's not like a big thing. For me, it's just being the 4 of us with our 2 dogs, and just being able to just listen to each other and sitting down and just hugging or playing, or it's just not a big thing. I'm not huge on big celebrations. Makes me really uncomfortable. For me, just like the moments that I just can be completely and utterly just with my kids and just listen to them and hugging, watching a movie, playing puzzles. There's been a lot of puzzles. For me, it's the biggest celebration. It's just raises my vibration. For me, it's all about every day, how can I feel better, be happier. And that at the end of the day is just the best way for me to celebrate my day. And during this time, it's just given me a lot of perspective because I've been able to do it very intentionally. I'm not running. I'm not coming to get the kids. I'm not coming back. I'm not, rushing everywhere and all these other things that are part of being a mom and a woman. That's why I'm kind of like grateful, because it's like everything's settled, everything's slowed. And now the perspective again comes back and be like, this is really the most important thing in life. All that hurrying and running around, and I really it wasn't giving me all the love this is. So yeah, just simple.
Exactly. That's the beauty of life at the end of the day.
Thank you.
We're almost finishing up here.
Ah.
So one of the last questions would be, what traits do you see in them that come from you?
Such a beautiful question. Okay, my Lunita, she is a very thoughtful person, and I kind of praise myself a little bit on that, and kind of like thoughtful in the sense that I can have perspective or vision, or kind of like see, a lot further down the line. And she's such a smart girl. Not saying that it comes from me. Well, I think it is comes from me though. I'm just kidding. But I just love the fact that I can have a very, very deep conversation with Luna, and she completely keeps up and understands. And that for me, I don't know if it comes from me or not, but just finding that partner in life that I can do it. Because obviously my husband is amazing. I have friends, but just having your daughter to have really great conversations with and really talk about like anything and everything, for me has just been the biggest blessing. And Luna is that. We find each other there, and I love that. And with Paz, she's as firecracker as I am. I mean, absolutely. She just is rambunctious and energetic and and all these other traits that are also a part of me. I'm so energetic, so upbeat, so full of passion, and definitely passes that. So I actually, now that she finally started speaking, because it took her a while, it's just all the things that come out of her mouth just make me laugh. So she's definitely la rumbera. She's definitely, the party one, and the other one is the philosopher and me. So it's perfect. It's
It's
like
a
a perfect
perfect balance.
combination.
There you go.
Yes.
So cute. So now definitely tell us a little bit about what you do and where we can find you.
Oh, I thank you. Well, I'm a digital business coach and branding strategy. I help entrepreneurs kind of like create a digital brand that resonates with their audience and sells more at the end of the day. So you can find me in Joiness Works. I'm normally in Instagram or joiness.com. Drop me a line, say hello, tell me if you listen to the episode. I love Ariana's. I love this community. I love this. Your audience is amazing. Such a powerful audience. So I'm really grateful to be here.
I thank you very much for just being here again. Of course, you're always, always, always welcome.
Thank you.
I'll definitely be dropping the links down below as always. And just super thankful to have this conversation with you. And it's so real and raw. And for all those moms and moms to be and etc., just to be celebrated and cheered on this month, next month, the whole gosh darn year, please.
I love it.
You're all
in this space about all different types of moms, I think that perspective is so needed, because we always think it's just one. And within those different ones, there's so many other layers. So thank you so much for this space. I think a lot of moms, even moms and kids and husbands and everybody can really can listen and to be like, oh, it's not just that poster mom. There's a lot of ways of being a good mom.
Yeah, definitely. We do share very different stories, and I feel like that's the core of who I am talking about, as a person, but also how when I decided to do the community in general with the Always Believer, it's like, all the different stories, shapes and sizes, and we're not alone. We're together in this, no matter what.
Awesome. Thank you so much for having me, Ari.
We're gonna quickly, we're gonna tell about the giveaway, of course, which finishes Sunday, Mother's Day, actually. And so the giveaway, it has 3 super cool things for the mind, body, and soul. So for your mind, it's a copy of the Radiant Mommy's book, a signed copy, and it features her signature program, for moms, for very busy moms out there, to make you feel happier, healthier, and more balanced. She was also in our podcast on May 4th, so she's definitely part of the giveaway. Style by Liv, our lovely Liv that we always pair up with her. She's giving a 30-minute complimentary skincare consultation to find the best clean and healthy products for you. She's a nurse first of all and foremost, so she's definitely educated on what is really good for your body. And at the same time, she works with Beauty Counter, and that's an all vegan, zero toxins kind of beauty products in general. And for last, definitely For Your Soul, it's a 30-minute coaching session with me to make sure that we make your best self shine in and out, definitely. So we wanted to make sure that with these specials, we had a giveaway for Mind, Body, and Soul for moms or moms to be, or just women in general. You don't have to be a mom to participate in the giveaway. So go check out our Instagram post where all the rules are there. It's pretty easy. Just tag a friend and that's pretty much it, and follow along. And that's pretty much it. So thank you once again, mi querida Joanna.
Much love to you, Ari. Thank you for this space. Thank you for everything you do.
And we'll talk to you really soon. Happy Mother's Day.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Bye.